The Stasi Museum in Berlin, a monument to the ultimate surveillance society. It's housed in the old Stasi headquarters. The Stasi were the state police of communist East Germany, whose job was to spy on the population. On display are every type of spy gadget imaginable from a pre-internet era. 1 in 6 East Germans were either full-time spies or informers for the Stasi. When the Berlin Wall fell in 1989 and East Germany collapsed, East Germans looked forward to living in freedom. But now some are beginning to wonder just how free the new Germany is. Last year, a married couple was convicted for creating a Facebook group that criticized the government's open-door migration policy. At the trial, the man complained that Germans cannot even express a critical opinion of refugees without getting labeled as a Nazi. 60 others accused of writing speech critical of migrants also had their homes raided by police. In one poll, more than 4 in 10 Germans said they did not feel safe in expressing their real opinion about the refugee crisis. It's a fair question to ask who really won the Cold War in Germany, because today former East Germans are living under speech oppression, similar to what they had to endure under communism. Of course, today's Germany is very different from communist East Germany. But when it comes to criticism of migrants and the government's migrant policy, some former East Germans see similarities. Famous German pastor Dr. Theo Lehmann lived under persecution and surveillance for more than 40 years in East Germany. He learned after the Cold War that even his best friend had been spying on him for the East German police. He also learned that 4 local pastors spied on him.
That meant that every word you spoke in public had to be thought through, even in your own room.
Dr. Lehmann, now 82, knew what it was to be labeled and punished for his views. And he sees disturbing parallels between communist East Germany and the political correctness that rules Germany and Western Europe.
It's extremely annoying that nowadays again you have to measure every word, because later someone could come and criticize it. That hurts any free discussion, and it's an incredible fear that is everywhere in society. Nobody dares to speak up anymore, because you're always in danger when you say something that is against the mainstream. You could be called a racist or a fascist without any discussion. These labels are put on you right away.
Germany has the standard political labels of left, right, and center, but by American standards, most German politics and media range from left to far left. Flag-waving, patriotic, anti-immigration Germans are regularly branded in the media as fascist, racist, and treated as a dangerous element.
It's not the same as it was in East Germany. But they want to control us, and they do.
Former East German Heidi Mundt, known as the brave German woman because of her strong stand against Islamization, has paid a high personal price for deviating from the approved view on refugees in Germany. Leftists cover her neighborhood in leaflets, telling neighbors that they live next to a Nazi. Her husband Matthias lost his job because he too has spoken out publicly.
No one is willing or daring to speak out because everyone would say you are right-wing, you are a Nazi, you are a racist, and they will bash you terribly and they will ruin your reputation. And I know what about I'm speaking.
It's a problem across Europe. Dr. Lehmann makes a bold assertion.
We are moving towards a dictatorship. It's a dictatorship if one opinion is presented in such a way that everyone must conform to it. It's a fascist, racist, or something, and he who does not conform, and immediately you are out. This is what we had for 40 years under communism. People are more afraid now than in the times of Stalinism.
The German government is now trying to block so-called fake news on the internet, which to some looks like the way communist countries tried to block information from the outside world. But most Germans seem fine with it. Angela Merkel's so-called Conservative Party is back in the lead 6 months before the next election, even after a string of terrorist attacks tied to her open-door migration policy. So change may not come soon. Those who dissent will remain outsiders, labeled and shunned. Some might say it looks a little like East Germany. Dale Hurd, CBN News, Berlin.